we want to say a happy Father's Day to all the dads and to everybody who has, ¿cómo se dice?
Who plays
a role.
Yeah.
Plays a role.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads, the actual dads, the ones that are present and actually being a dad.
Yeah.
And all the other people who play a dad role. Happy Father's Day. You guys deserve it. Have fun. Go do something. Celebrate with your family.
Yeah.
Or by yourself if you want to.
Apreciamos, like, todo el esfuerzo que hacen por su familia, you know? From the bottom of my heart, you know, especially to my dad. To all the dads, you know, but especially my dad. He's so hardworking, and I appreciate him always going to work every single day and just to provide for us and, you know, and be there for us. So, yeah, shout out to all the dads. Les mandamos un fuerte abrazo.
Yes.
Enjoy your day. And anything else you want to say?
No. I think you got it covered.
Dads are awesome. So,
Not all dads, but
present dads that love their children are awesome.
yeah.
I gotta put it out there. 1, 2, 3. Hi guys, welcome back to the Lucha is Real podcast. I'm your host Edith,
And I'm Angel.
and we're here.
And as you can hear, there's not a lot of excitement going on right now.
Yeah, our mood is like
down here. Honestly, it was very difficult for me to be like, all right, Angel, pull it together so we can film. We're kind of recording a little early just because we're going to do some pre-recording since Edith's going to be out of town.
Again. Like, again, Edith? We're giving you vacation.
So we're pre-recording this week, and so today is Monday the 9th. This is the Monday following everything that's going on in LA, and I'm in disbelief.
It's because this is the thing, bro. Like, just when you think things couldn't get worse, they get worse. This time we already know that the Marines were ¿cómo se dice la palabra?
I just know they were gonna get mobilized,
Yeah, mobilized.
But at this point, I don't think they're like they've hit the ground or anything. Like, we don't know for sure.
No.
But they're calling for it,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
The National Guard is there.
For real though?
Yeah, for real this time. But like super unprepared. Like, I saw videos of a whole bunch of these like National Guardsmen literally sleeping on top of each other. They're just laying down on the floor, sleeping on top of each other because they literally mobilized them without any fucking resources. Any resources. And just the escalation of even mobilizing, like, mobilizing these, like, the
military?
Yeah, like, it was just such a huge escalation that was so unnecessary.
Yeah, completely.
It was so unnecessary. Like, and honestly, like, they shouldn't have even, like, Trump should have never even done that. Because he didn't even have the authority of, like, California. I don't know if it's governor or mayor, which is what they need.
I think it's a governor.
Yeah.
They have to basically meet with him, and then they can mobilize.
Yeah,
like doing it the right way, the
right way,
the lawful way. But you know that he doesn't really give a fuck about that.
The right way people are not doing things the right way.
Yeah, exactly. So he really doesn't give a fuck, and now it's like something that is just turning into chaos because of him, you know. And it just really sucks to see our community hurting. It really, really, it's devastating. It's devastating. And I don't know. Just seeing families being ripped apart, seeing like innocent people being hurt. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you could sit here and just be like, oh yeah, look at all this, look at all these little kids being like ripped off from their parents' arms and be completely okay with it. Yeah. This is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Let me also bring up the fact that Kristi Noem, back in February of 2024, said if Joe Biden federalizes the National Guard, that would be a direct attack on states' rights. Over the last several years, we've seen Democrats try to take away our freedoms of religion, assembly, and speech. We can't let them take away our right to defend ourselves, too. And I'm just like, so basically what you're saying is that it's leave it to the states until the federal government doesn't like what the state is doing.
Basically.
It's just a bunch of hypocrites.
It is because, first of all, I hate to fucking bring it up, but for example, January 6th, that from the beginning was violent. From the beginning was bad. That was our capital. Pero how much time did it not take for him to even fucking do anything? It had to be, what's his name, Mike Pence, had to get on top of it, and that's why they fell off.
Mm-hmm. That's because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yes, he doesn't give a fuck.
It's just
he's
because
just
he
racist.
Yeah.
He's just plain out fucking racist. And to the people, like the POC people and just anybody that like support him, I just don't understand. I try to wrap my mind around it, but I'm just like, I just don't, I don't get it. I guess I'm too empathetic. I'm guessing I don't know.
So actually, what's it called? I saw this thing online from Gavin Newsom. Mm-hmm. Governor or mayor? Governor. He posted, I was just informed that Trump is deploying another 2,000 guard troops to LA. The first 2,000 given no food or water. Only approximately 300 were deployed, and the rest are sitting unused in federal buildings without orders. This isn't about public safety. It's about stroking a dangerous president's ego. This is reckless, pointless, and disrespectful to our troops.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't give a fuck about the troops either.
No, he doesn't.
We've seen it. He doesn't give a fuck about the troops. He doesn't give a fuck about the veterans. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody that it isn't him and his own billionaire buddies.
And, what's interesting, too, is that the LAPD released a statement regarding the peaceful protest.
Yeah.
And they're even saying that, it was unnecessary to send the National Guard because it was all peaceful until they showed up.
Yeah.
It was all peaceful. Literally, LAPD is saying it was peaceful.
Until they showed up and they instigated.
Yeah. And they're just honestly, and immigration debate and what people's view on immigration completely aside.
Okay.
It is crazy to me that the escalation of this is so uncalled for, because just put it into let's put it into a different example, right? Because someone being undocumented is a civil offense.
Yeah.
It's a civil offense, okay? That equals you speeding and you gotta you getting a ticket, right? It's like you're speeding and you get a ticket. That's literally it. That's what it equates to.
Yeah.
And could you imagine, you're at working, and then you just fucking see a bunch of trucks, unmarked trucks, pull up, and people in tactical gear coming out with no badges, nothing, and they just fucking come and grab you, how is that? How does that make sense, logically?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Because they're just trying to invoke fear.
Exactly.
It's not about doing it the right way. It's never been about that. Mm-mm. You're arresting people right at before or after their immigration appointments, trying to do it the right way, trying to spending all the money how they want it, to be able to have those documents to live here. And you, or the fact that they say like undocumented people, like they're freeloaders, but yet again you're going to all their jobs to get them.
Like, or how about working with the IRS? Oh, because supposedly undocumented people don't pay taxes.
Exactly. Like, make that make sense.
But what's really sad is that I saw this other post and it said, if you're not watching LA local news, you're missing the LA United District explain how they are ice-proofing their graduation ceremonies today. What a bleak situation. But thank you to the educators who are always out front for students and families in LA. And it is so fucking sad that schools have to ice-proof their ceremonies.
Yeah.
I thought we were going for criminals here, supposedly.
Well, for me, it's like, what happened to, you were so big on family values.
Yeah.
Yet you're ripping just family apart, not going for the criminals that you said you were going to go for.
Or fucking zip tying little kids.
Yeah. Oh.
Because they're so dangerous. Ooh, I'm scared.
Yeah. I have no... It's just disgusting. It's disgusting, the actions that this administration has taken and attacking our communities. It is disgusting.
I saw this video. Hold on, I have to show you this video, girl, because I was like,
and then the detention centers, I don't know if you've seen like people who've because you know how they're detaining US citizens as well, because you know, racial profiling, whatever. One of them came out and was like, you know, doing talking about it and how bad it was in the detention center. No food, no going to the bathroom, nowhere to sleep on. Like, they're treating them like animals.
It's crazy because like a lot of these like so-called Christians are like supporting the mass deportations and stuff, and it's like these people are like, it's like they're being treated so inhumanely, and it's kind of like, oh, you know, like love thy neighbor or whatever. Oh, only if they're documented though. It's like you're truly not a Christ follower if you're supporting everything that's going on, because everything that's going on is disgusting.
Yeah, trying to hide behind religion, which you are not even interpreting it how it was supposed to be, you know. But
and I think people also forget that Jesus Christ himself was also a refugee.
Yeah.
But anyways, let me show you this video.
And he wasn't white. A lot of people think he's white, bro. He wasn't. Historically, he's not white.
Yeah.
Based on the descriptions of this, like, how him in scripture. Like,
yeah.
But.
Okay, listen to this video, though. Okay.
I need y'all to understand what is happening.
Okay.
If you're... Y'all, take the whole immigration side out of this, because some of y'all can't get over the whole immigration side of it. I need y'all to understand what is happening right now. Against the wishes of the governor of California, the president of the United States has federalized National Guard troops to put down a protest in California, against what the governor has directly asked him to do. This is not one of the biggest protests we've ever seen. This is not some major protest. There is nothing to warrant this level of escalation, and we have never seen something like this in modern American history, to do this against the wishes of the governor. This is a dangerous precedent to let be set. I need y'all to look past the immigration side of this and understand what is going on. The president is deploying military forces to put down a protest. That is what he is doing. And if that is allowed to become the precedent, if we do not protest this now and call this out and condemn this, if this is allowed to be set in stone, this will happen again. And the requirements and that threshold gets lower and lower every time it happens, until it becomes the norm that anytime there is a protest, the military gets sent in. And do you know what type of government you get to when the military gets stepped in? Anytime there's a protest, think about what type of government that is. Let's just say we have invaded countries that have gotten to that kind of government before. and we are now perpetuating that exact thing here in the United States. Nothing about this. I don't care about the immigration side of it. That is a red herring that doesn't matter. The truth of what is going on is that the President of the United States is currently using military forces as a policing activity against the will of the governor of that state. This will happen again if it is allowed to become precedent, and that requirement, that threshold, like I said, it gets lower and lower and lower every time. And you may think it doesn't matter now. What if something happens that you don't like? All right, the government should never be using military forces to stop people from expressing a First Amendment right to freedom of speech and freedom of protest. I don't care that there has been some violence in the protests. None of that justifies this level of escalation that we have now seen out of the federal government. This is a dangerous thing to do, and it is going to get even worse soon.
And the creators confused liberal noises, but I'm like, this needs to be a bilateral issue. Like, this, is it bilateral? No,
bipartisan.
A bipartisan. Sorry, you guys. I cannot even think it straight. This is like a bipartisan issue. Like, this is not the left, the right, or whatever. It doesn't like the guy said. Immigration issues aside, like, what is happening is setting a fucking precedent.
It's scary.
Yes. And I feel like both sides should be concerned.
Yeah, it's very scary that a president can have that much power. Because that's why we have the 3 branches, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we also have the state governments.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like
checks and balances, guys.
And I don't know. It's happened before in other countries, guys. So
I don't know, but
and it doesn't end well.
I think before we just keep rambling off.
Yeah.
We need to pivot because we can go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. So, but before we end, I know a lot of people sometimes like see all this and you know you don't know what to do and you don't know how to even help. Remember that not everybody helps in the same way. Everybody has their own way of helping, even if it's like sharing information on your social media, donating to organizations that help these communities or the cause, or going out and protesting. You don't have to do every way, but as long as you do your little part, like your part, it's something and it's change. So I feel like a lot of us, I say because me myself, you know, I get it like overwhelmed because I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. But even las cosas chiquitas, even like sharing and donating and stuff, if you can't protest, like they make a change. So I just want to let you guys know that, you know, we still have power. It's just we have to ourselves mobilize in any way capacity that we can. So.
And our hearts are with LA because
ahorita es LA, guys. Ahorita es LA, and LA is one of the city with the biggest like Latino community right now. But the attack is under LA, but soon enough it's gonna go to all cities if this is what we let them do. So I don't know. They're like making LA an example, and that's the bad thing.
You know what's crazy too is that California pays more in taxes to the government than they even get federal funding.
Yeah.
Like, it is ridiculous. Like, and California's economy is, like, just them. Dude, like, California's economy is what's holding up
the United States.
So many fucking states.
No, it's true. Like, it's literally the biggest economy. Like
without California, bro, like all these like little like Timbuktu places, like you would be ceased to exist.
Yep.
There'd be no money for y'all.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we can't turn. I know it's como te digo. We can't let ourselves be desensitized by this, Because I feel like, you know how it happens so often? We often, like, slowly desensitize ourselves because, you know, it's so common. We can't let that happen, guys. We can't let that happen. It's just, we have to be outraged. We have to be mad. We have to be angry. We have to take action. So, yeah.
So, quick break, and then we'll be right back. And we're back, guys. Sorry. Tone was serious.
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of like down. We're still down here. It's been a lot. I feel like I have such a high sensitivity to, like,
what is that called?
We said the word before.
Yeah, we said
to just, like, injustice. Like,
yeah.
What is it called? Like a justice sensitivity.
Yeah.
I think it's called justice sensitivity. Yes. That. I have that.
Like, it gets so overwhelming. Like,
yeah.
You can't ignore it. And you just...
Like, I'm the type of person that, like, I could just talk for hours.
Oh, me
and
too.
We can go in circles. Like, literally, me and Edith can go in circles about this.
Go around and around and around. And then a little bit over there. And then come back. And it's just bad.
Yeah. Like, I sometimes I truly envy the people that live, like...
In ignorance?
In ignorance. Because some of y'all be looking real happy.
I know. I know, being empathetic and, like, having, like... How can I say this? Being empathetic and having... How can I say?
Well, just even having social awareness. Not social, like, just, like, self-awareness.
There we go.
Like...
Sucks. Sometimes it's not all like rainbows and butterflies. Honestly, it's not really the rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah,
it just makes you like, oh shit, like,
because some people like just living in ignorance. Like, some of y'all be looking real happy, but also, like, I would never want to be like that. No, because like I recognize that the world doesn't revolve around me.
I care too much about people, our community, and so no.
So, anyways. Pivoting.
Go for it.
I kind of wanted to bring up, this is completely like pivoting, okay? Just because I saw something online, okay? And supposedly there's a debate on TikTok where girls would not, okay? There's a debate on TikTok where girls would not be okay if their boyfriend drove a drunk girl home who needed a ride. What is your take? Like, there's literally certain girls saying that they're not okay with their boyfriend driving a drunk girl home who needed a ride.
There's a debate on this? I'm sorry. I'm just kind of like, there's a debate on this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the world we live in, as y'all know, it's not very safe to be a woman, honestly. Mm-hmm. No matter. So just imagine not being, being incoherent. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm. Imagine being incoherent.
Mm-hmm. Like not thinking straight because you're under the influence, right? Mm-hmm. How other people could take advantage of you, you know? And it's happened so many times, you know? And, like, why would you be mad, like, if your boyfriend takes a drunk woman home, you know, that can't get herself home, and you know that they're gonna be safe that way?
I just, honestly, when I saw this, it just made zero fucking sense to me. Like, it could not compute in my head. Yeah. Because I know that, like
is processing.
If there's one person in this world that I would trust to get home any girl safely that needed their help, is my husband.
Exactly.
And you know what's crazy is that this has happened before. Literally, Val has driven home girls because they're obliterated or like they really need to get home or something. Yeah. Like, I honestly, like, I trust him with my whole life. Exactly. And so I don't know, but this person said,
but why? Like, why wouldn't you? I don't know. That's
so the person said, my boyfriend is the number one person that I would trust to get any girl home safely who needs help. Yeah. What men are y'all dating? I'm concerned. Because, exactly. One, if the reason is you don't trust him, that's fucked, because you're insinuating that you think your sober boyfriend would take advantage of a drunk girl.
Oh, no.
So, interesting, right? Number 2, if it's because you don't trust her, you're putting your own jealousy over a girl's safety, and that's weird.
That is weird. That's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Annoying as a woman how tough it is in this world. Like,
exactly.
That's fucking weird.
That is very weird. And not only that, but like, okay, so like Val kind of gave me this example. He's like, oh, so like, what if, this particular girl, right, who has been very friendly with him before.
Yeah, very touchy?
Not touchy, but just friendly. Like called him out of the blue and was like, oh, like I don't want to call an Uber because like I don't feel safe, or like I don't trust anybody to take me home. Like, can you come pick me up or whatever? And I was like, of course, I would just go with you. And not only because like I'm concerned that she would try anything. It's not even that. I think for me, it's like, honestly, like, we've done dumb shit before. Yeah. Like, we've been the drunk girls.
Exactly. I've been driven home a lot of times.
We've been the drunk. Yeah. We've been the drunk girl, and it's like, I for sure, like, I would not put like her friendliness like over, like, I wouldn't put like my concern for her friendliness over her safety. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, she's a girl in this world, and we know how dangerous it is, especially in Vegas.
Number 1 human trafficking city in the United States.
Exactly. And I was like, I would go with you. And not only that, because like, for sure, you would need help.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you need help carrying her. You don't know if like she's gonna need a fucking trash bag, or like you don't know.
Or she needs to go, or somehow she's in the bathroom, like in the girls' bathroom, and you need to get her out. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah. So first of all, I was like, no, like, absolutely, like, we can go help her out if we needed to. Yeah. I would go with you. And like, he's just like, well, what if there's like a situation where like, you're unable to? Okay. And I was like, that's a good question, because also he brought up a good point. He's like, and obviously this is in no way trying to blame people, right? But he's like, I'm also a man. He's like, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where, like, what if someone roofied her and I helped her, and then all of a sudden she's put in a predicament of, like, I don't know what happened. And the last thing you're told is, oh, you were seen leaving with Val.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so Val's like, as a man, he's like, that would put me in, like, a very tight, like, a weird place. Mm-hmm. Because someone can easily point a finger and say that he did something or whatever. And it's not to say that, like, she would falsely accuse him of anything. But, like, what if someone else tried something and the last thing she remembers is Val's face picking her up? Or someone saying, like, oh, well, you were seen leaving with Val. So Val's like, I would never put myself in a place where it would just be me. I would have to have someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point. I never saw it like that. That's a good point. But even then, if it gets to the like the last option, like that option where it's just him, I feel like you trust him enough to be like, even if anything, like, she tried something, he'd be like, the fuck, I'm gonna get you home and get the fuck off.
Yeah, I would.
Like, it's just, even if it gets to that point where it's just, no tiene otra opción, like, then be a good person and go.
No, I would 100% trust him. I don't see there ever being like a scenario where, it would just be like him. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? Where, like, I couldn't go with him or something. I don't know. But because
even if you're not available, he could also call me up and be like, yo. He
could call my sister. Yeah. He could call his sister. Well, not his sister right now, but like, there's just a ton of people. Like, he could call another. Well, no, calling another friend, that could be bad too.
Yeah.
It would be a female. Yeah.
You will probably want a girl there.
So, but anyways, back to the point. I think it's interesting that it's even a debate that some people are like, no, I wouldn't want my boyfriend.
I think the issue is like, who are you dating?
Yeah.
Like, who are you dating that you really don't trust him that way?
Yeah. I don't know,
That's
guys.
concerning.
Tell us what you think. And if you think otherwise, please explain to me because it doesn't make sense. Like,
we're open to hearing like different, like, you know,
point of views.
Yeah.
But anyways, in the same dating realm, I have another question for you. I saw something else that said, a man will either bring you up to his value or bring you down to his value.
Oh! That one hurt right here.
What do you think about that?
I think it's like tú eres con quien te juntas type thing. You know? Kind of in the same realm as that. You know, if I think I've been in the experience where, you know, I hold myself up to here, right? And this man's values are like down here, right? And I've been put in in situations where I slowly, even if I don't want to and subconsciously I don't see it, but I start going downhill, you know, kind of like, even if it's not all the way down, but like meeting halfway, you know? So I don't think particularly it has to be a man, but like whoever you're with, a partner or whatever, I think it's kind of like, like you, ¿cómo te digo? It impacts who I lost my train of thought. It impacts. Se me perdió el fucking train of thought.
You know what I thought was crazy though?
What?
Is that why is it a man that has to determine the value?
Oh, that's true.
Because the way
I said like a partner. That's why I said like whoever partner you're with.
Because what it said is a man will either bring you up to his value or bring you down to his. And as soon as I saw it, my only thing with it is like, why is it up to the man to determine that? To determine what your value is.
But I think it's something that goes both ways though.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I think it just depends on the partner you have. That's why you have to make a wise choice of who you're with.
Yeah.
Man, women, lo que sea, you know? You have to make a wise choice because at the end of the day, it's like, it is kind of true, you know? Depending on where they are or whatever, it could be a case where you might go down, you know? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a man.
I think also it's just and honestly, I wouldn't even say like personal, and this is my view, is that I don't want to say that like one person is more valuable than the other. I just think you have misaligned values, like, in desires. I don't know how to explain it. Like what you prioritize. Yeah, like what your priorities are just different. Yeah. Because some people can be like very content with, you know, I don't want to say the bare minimum, but like some people just get very comfortable somewhere.
For example, let's put it this way. Some people have are okay living paycheck to paycheck. And that's completely fine, you know, do what works for you. But then there's some people that are like, no, I have to have my good enough savings. I have to have backup plan on backup plan on backup plan, you know? And when those two people get together, there's going to be right there already a rift, like a problem, because those values don't align. And it's not like, it's como tú dijiste, it's not saying like one person is more valuable than the other. No, it's just different values. Yeah. In that same realm, like for example, in that same realm of money, both of you see money differently. So how, like, I feel like you have to do a lot of work and be able to recognize that to make it work. But a lot of couples don't do that. That's the thing about it. So sometimes one of them had drags down, or not drags down, but like,
at some point, like, yeah, because at some point, like, if you're trying really hard to make this work, you're trying so hard to make it work, at some point someone will compromise.
Yeah.
Either someone is going to start, basically prioritizing their partner's values over their own.
Yes.
And living their lifestyle versus the one that they desired originally. Or it could go the other way, and the other person can be like, fuck, I need to step it up.
Yeah.
And, the other person can be like, you know what? Like, I really want to be with this person, and, maybe I need to step it up. And,
it could go both ways. I think it's just...
But at the end of the day, it's like each, you just got to pay attention to what the other person's values are and what they're willing to compromise to.
Yeah, and be okay to have those hard conversations, and being okay saying, like, standing on your boundaries. We preached on this before. Standing on your boundaries and knowing if that person is not willing to, like, like you also aren't willing to compromise, they're not willing to compromise, then what makes you think this is going to work in the long run? It's just a means to an end. It's a means to an end.
And I actually have this other thing that I saw online that kind of goes I think it goes very well with what we're saying. It says, imagine going to McDonald's and requesting pasta and a glass of wine. They wouldn't serve you, not because you're asking for too much, but because you're asking the wrong place.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's as simple as that, guys. It's like, there's certain things that you want and you desire, and things that you value, and someone just, they can't meet you there. Like, they're not willing to provide that. They're not willing to give you what you want. I think it's not about you asking for too much or you having too high standards, because you know how some people are like, oh, your standards are unrealistic, they're too high. No, you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, it's not about asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. You're asking the wrong person. And the thing is that you have to be comfortable, not comfortable, but you have to basically have those tough conversations. And I feel like a lot of people avoid them because it is uncomfortable. It is an uncomfortable situation. You don't want to talk about, like, bro, like, you're living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not okay with that kind of lifestyle. You don't want to have those conversations. You don't want to make the person feel bad. You don't. But
I mean, there's a way to approach these conversations.
There is, but at the end of the day, feelings can possibly be hurt no matter how you approach the situation. But it's like you have to stand on what you want and what you see yourself with. You can't just
And also, I feel like figure out what you're willing to put up with too, because sometimes like you have negotiables and you have non-negotiables. Just sometimes you're like, I'm not willing to compromise on non-negotiables.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's as easy as that. And if they're not willing to agree to that, then you're just possibly with the wrong person.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to, like, for example, religion or kids, like, or money. Money is the number one thing people get divorced for. Like, it's just, you have to have those tough conversations. And como tú dijiste, there's things that you could compromise on. There's things you can't. So stand on your ground and don't turn one of your non-negotiables into something you can negotiate just because you really like that person. You're really, like, infatuated by that person and stuff like that. So, yeah. I learned that the hard way. But I learned it. And now we're standing on business.
Okay. Another quick pivot. And sorry, guys, like, we didn't really have anything planned. I think, again, we were just, like, bogged down by everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's hard to, like...
So I'm just finding shit online, and I'm like, oh, cool, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I saw this thing, and I was like, okay, I gotta ask Edith this, because it was truly eye-opening for me. As stupid as it sounds, but...
What? I want to hear this.
Would 13-year-old you be proud of you?
If 13-year-old, does 13-year-old me know, like, do they know everything I've been through? Like, they got, like, a whole book of what I've been through? Or do they just get what? Like, this
Like, you
right
go back
now?
in time. You go back in time and you meet 13-year-old you.
Yeah.
Would 13-year-old you be proud of you?
I think if they knew my entire life.
We're talking like you go back in time, Edith. Obviously, they don't know what you've been through.
But what if I have time to tell them what I've been through?
If that's okay, well, if you want to give them that, you can.
I think because 13-year-old me had very high expectations, very I loved her. She's
unrealistic.
Yeah, unrealistic expectations. I don't know if I just put like, here you go, this is what we're doing now, that she'd be like, okay, girl, this is not what I thought we were gonna be doing. What happened to our high rise in New York, like, and you being fucking super mega big and successful. But I feel like if 13-year-old me knew everything I've been through, she'd be fucking proud. She'd be like, fuck yeah, you got out. You're doing it. I'm proud.
Okay. I love your answer because this creator said, listen, I'm not here to impress a mentally ill child.
That's hilarious.
And that gave me a lot of perspective. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, do I really give a fuck if 13-year-old me is going to be proud of me now? Because homegirl was going through a lot. Let me tell you, homegirl was going through a lot. And I don't know why, as stupid as this sounds, gave me perspective. Because I know, I could tell you outright, 13-year-old me would not be proud.
Yeah.
13-year-old would not be proud. But now I'm thinking like, does it really fucking matter? Like, does it really fucking matter? Because I was not mentally well. I was not mentally well, and all I could say is that I want to be the person that would have been there for 13-year-old me.
Yeah.
Even if she wasn't, even if she wouldn't have been proud of me. I want to be the person that could have been there for 13-year-old me. To help, guide, advise.
Oh, puberty.
Like,
just life. It was interesting times.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but I just saw this and it just cracked me up because I'm like, you're right. I was not mentally well.
Not great. That was not great. That's funny. That is hilarious. No, yeah. I still stand on my thing. I was like, I think if she knew everything I've been through. Because at 13, I'm thinking about, I had already gone through some shit. So, I think she'd be good. She'd be, hell yeah.
But you're saying if she didn't know.
If she knew, like, the whole...
But if she didn't,
if she wouldn't. She'd know. She'd be she's delulu as fuck. Like, girl, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
But I think we need that as kids. We need some hope. We need some, like, to persevere.
I get it, but I feel like there's a healthy...
Yeah, there is a healthy
level to it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's also the unhealthy one where I feel like that's where I landed.
Yeah.
For me, it was very unhealthy. I was very anal about a lot of things. And the reason why I say absolutely I would not be proud of where I'm now is because I wasn't very graceful. Yeah. And I did not give myself grace. I was very, like, cutthroat with myself. Yeah. And I was my harshest critic. Like, absolutely would not be proud of where I'm at.
Yeah.
But, and that's why I'm saying, I think for me, it's like, I think I would want to be, I think I am the person that 13-year-old me needed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, anybody out there, let us know where you stand.
Yeah. What
are your guys' thoughts on any of it? Because this is the most fucking tossed up salad of an episode.
Sorry, guys. But we appreciate you guys staying and listening to everybody, who tunes in every Monday. Like,
yeah.
Se les aprecia de todo corazón. Y hasta cuando no podemos hablar. One day, there's going to be an episode where we're just sitting there in silence and just maybe crying. And don't be surprised. Just cry with us, Like, just sit there in silence and cry with us.
Yeah, honestly, I think we just pulled this episode out of our ass because it was very difficult to even think of like what besides what's going on in LA, like what do we fucking talk about?
Yeah.
Because
and that's the thing about us, bro.
like all we want to talk about
We get consumed.
yeah.
Consumed that everything, like, we don't know about anything else but that.
Yeah. It's probably unhealthy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a little unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy, actually.
And the fact that we're both that way is...
Yeah, because there's no fucking checkpoint. Like, literally, we could just keep going.
Who holds each other account? Who holds one another accountable?
Yeah, we'll just fucking keep going. We'll just keep talking about it. Like, it gets to the point where if I see somebody, like, you know, promoting their business, I'll be like, I don't give a fuck.
I know, but great for you, but I don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah, or like people talking about, I'm gonna drop new music. I don't give a fuck. Why don't you talk about what's going on?
Yes, exactly. Or just like... you know, I love like my content creators and stuff like that because I'm mostly on TikTok. I'm taking a break from Instagram, guys, and also my FYP is all like everything that's been happening in LA, right, or just government in specific. And sometimes people come up with the like OOTDs and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's great for you, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like I don't want to see this. I need to like I just get so consumed.
I know it's very unhealthy.
Yeah,
we need help.
Maybe a therapist. Couple psychiatrists.
But anyways, let's wrap it up because we got shit to talk about and we don't want to we don't want to keep bringing y'all down with us.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, make sure to comment, like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and if you're listening to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review. Anything less,
oh, you're gonna hit the DMs.
She's taking a little bit too low.
Also make sure to like leave your Chisme.
Oh, yeah.
Submit your Chisme because we didn't have any and we're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, are you guys okay?
Yeah, is there
Where's the drama?
Or maybe like they have their own shit that, you know, like
that's true.
they're dealing with.
I guess, but I mean, if you want to vent on there, you know, we'll hear you out.
Yeah, that too.
Make sure if you made it this far in the episode, what should they comment? Can you guys comment comment a brown heart? A brown heart.
Yeah, brown heart.
Other than that, stay informed. Stay informed and stay what?
And do better than us.
And yeah, be better. Be a better person. Strive to be 1% better every single day. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Ahí los dejamos.
Yeah. Que Dios los bendiga.
Besitos. Bye, guys.
Stay safe, guys.